Hi, my name is Shardall. Welcome to the SG Sports Talk channel. As the Golden State Warriors get their second straight loss in a row, losing to the Denver Nuggets by a score of 117 to 116 at Chase Center in San Francisco on a 27-foot three-point jumper by number 11 Monte Morris. Now I will welcome Barry Baller 18 to the postgame show.
What's up, Shardall? Man,
What's up, man?
that was a
tough loss.
gut-wrenching loss.
I was not expecting that loss from the Golden State Warriors against the Denver Nuggets. I wasn't expecting that.
Shardall, the Warriors felt like we were in control of that game all the way through until the last 3 minutes, right? And it started with the hack of Looney, right? The Nuggets started fouling Looney, forcing him to the free throw line. Looney missed a few free throws at a key moment. And Nikola Jokic, I mean, this guy, he was a beast. I mean, what did he finish with? The guy
He finished with 30 points, 17 rebounds, 8 assists. He got his first double-double of the game. I'm happy for him. I mean, I'm not a Nuggets fan, but I'm really happy that he got the double-double tonight.
It was nearly a triple-double, Shardall. He had 35 points, 17 rebounds, 8 assists. And Shardall, what's concerning to me is it feels like the Warriors need another big. We need another big guy that can come in, provide some minutes, give Looney a break, because Looney was absolutely exhausted towards the end of that game, trying to keep up with Nikola Jokic, who's a 7-foot, 300-pound monster. And you could see that Looney was gassed. He didn't have the legs. He was missing his free throws at the end of the fourth quarter. And it's been the theme. I mean, I watched Ivica Zubac of the Clippers just dominate that game. So Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, you guys need to be aware of your weakness right now, and it's going up against legitimate bigs. So go out, get another big guy.
Yeah, because for me in this game, anytime Nikola Jokic steps on the floor, you got to be scared that he's just going to explode. He's just going to have a great performance, and you got to be ready for that. Because if you're not ready for that, you don't know basketball. Because that's what a real fan knows about basketball. Is when somebody just goes crazy and just has an explosive type performance, it's just like one of those performances that you expect to never see by a man like Nikola Jokic tonight against the Golden State Warriors, man.
I mean, Jokic is an MVP, so I do expect Jokic to play at an extremely high level. But the Warriors, we got to add another big guy to bang with him, because I'm tired of seeing Nemanja Bjelica at the 5 or Jonathan Kuminga at the 5. Like, I love Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga has been such an exciting player to watch, 19 years of age, and he looks every bit the part of an NBA player. But playing him at center against Nikola Jokic, like, you're just asking for trouble.
Like when we got Kuminga in this league for the Warriors, he was like this kid that, we never saw this kid from the G League. Like, he was just like amazing kid. Like, he plays like on a different level, man. He's fun to watch, man. This guy Kuminga, he is a fun player to watch, man. I love him, man. I love Kuminga.
He's gonna be a star. He's like our up and coming star. Like, he's not there yet because he's only 19, but give it 2 or 3 years, and oh man, this guy Kuminga is gonna be something special.
And as a Warriors fan, I'm so excited that Jonathan Kuminga is going to be one of the participants in the NBA Rising Stars Challenge in the All-Star game. He's going to be one of the participants. I'm like so pumped about that they decided to put Jonathan Kuminga as in the Rising Stars. I said, like, man, this is like, who thought of to put Kuminga in that competition?
That was a great addition to the Rising Stars game. Because at first they left him off. They left him off the Rising Stars game, right? And it took an injury to Chris Duarte to open up a roster spot. And here's the thing. Ever since they originally had announced those rosters, Kuminga had been playing exceptionally well. So it's almost like, hey, you guys don't want to include me in the Rising Stars? Let me up my game and show you what I'm all about. So he took his game to to another level after being slighted.
So for that, do you think that it's really amazing to bring somebody out of the G League and into the NBA? Like that transition from the G League to the NBA is like a big transition. I mean, some people think that's not a big deal.
I mean, it's a huge jump. It's a huge jump in talent going from the G League to the NBA level. But the Warriors have done a good job of developing players in the G League. Now, they didn't develop Kuminga, but we've seen it before in terms of G League to the Warriors roster. A guy who's done it is Damian Lee. Damian Lee spent a couple years down in the G League. Same thing with JTA, which JTA, Juan Toscano Anderson, seems to be out of the rotation as of late. Kerr, it seems like JTA is the 15th man on the roster right now. And what I'm saying is the Warriors should be looking to add a veteran big. Now, we did get some good news on James Wiseman, who's been rehabbing, his knee injury. But they're counting on Wiseman big time. If we don't add a big, yes, we are getting a big man when Wiseman returns, but he's still a young guy, man. What is he, 21 years old? In a limited. So if we can go out and get a veteran, Robin Lopez of the Orlando Magic's a player that I'm looking at squarely, potential buyout candidate. And, he's a Stanford guy, right? So Stanford's Bay Area. So Robin Lopez has spent some time out in the Bay. And that's who I would be targeting, a veteran big like Robin Lopez, because Looney needs some help.
So for me, I really like Juan Toscano Anderson because he's a great player, and the thing that makes me happy is he celebrates his American heritage and his Mexican heritage because he honors both. Do you think that's a great thing that he puts smiles on all the kids, all the Mexican American kids who like to play basketball? He puts a smile on their face, and every time they come, they just say like, "We like to, be inspired by such a legend like JTA."
No doubt, and he's a great ambassador. JTA's just a great dude, and we know he's a Bay Area native. He's an Oakland guy. You know what I mean? So he was born and raised in the Bay. I'm Bay Area baller. You're a Bay Area guy yourself, Shardall. And so is JTA. So when you got those roots and when you hear him talk, he's so proud to be a Golden State Warrior because he knows what it means to be a Warrior through and through.
So for JTA, do you think it's hard for a player to embrace his American heritage but also embrace his Mexican heritage as well on that as a kind of a side aspect?
No, I wouldn't say it's difficult. He just represents who he is. And let me tell you something about JTA you might not know. He was undrafted coming out of Marquette, and he actually played basketball in Mexico in their professional league, and he was the MVP of the Mexican league. And that, may or may not, I don't know what got him into the G League, but that might have, got some eyeballs, drew him some attention. JTA, the MVP, former Marquette basketball player. Let's give him a look in the NBA or in the G League. And then from there, he's worked on his game. But like I said, as of lately, he hasn't been in the rotation. Steve Kerr doesn't seem to be trusting Juan Toscano at the moment. And I think it's due to some turnover, some foul issues. Might be something JTA has to clean up if he wants to get back playing important minutes.
So something I want to say is that if the Warriors want to snap this 2-game losing streak, when they play the Dallas Mavericks, that's their next team they're going to be going up against. What are some tips you want to give to the team if they want to get a victory against the Mavericks? Because that's a really great team with all those great players on Dallas. So it's going to be really
Luka
hard
Doncic,
to get
no joke, Doncic.
So what are your tips to provide the team when they go up and play Dallas?
When you're playing Dallas, it's about controlling Luka Doncic. And what stinks, Shardall, is this loss that happened today happens right before the All-Star break. So they're going to have to chew on this loss for a week now, right? Because that over a week. I think their next game is next Thursday. So 8 days. They're going to be thinking about this buzzer beater loss. It was a tough one. And so some tips I mean, it's hard to give the Warriors tips. We still are second in the Western Conference, so we're doing a lot of things right. But what I will say is, we're undersized at the center position. So what that means is, as a group, we have to attack the glass. We need all 5 guys hitting the boards. That way, a player like Jokic doesn't end up with 20 rebounds and do what he did to us tonight.
Because the Warriors, the good thing the Warriors do is to keep Jokic under, like, to let him not score anymore. But it looks like the Warriors tried to do their best as a unit, but they just couldn't stop Jokic. He just went crazy. Like, he almost got that triple double, like you said.
Yeah, he's a special player. He's a special player, but I think some size, some legitimate size, another 7-footer would help slow down Jokic, because he's so big, he's so strong, and he's so smart that if you give him a size advantage, he's gonna know how to exploit that matchup.
So if you look at Jokic, would you compare him to Thanos, the Marvel superhero Thanos?
I would, and you hope he doesn't have all the gems, so he can't snap. Because if he's got all the gems, Jokic, then the other team is in trouble.
So I mean he's a good player, but once he goes off and he starts scoring points like crazy, he's hard to, like, you can't stop him. Like, he's that type of player, that special type of player that nobody can ever stop.
He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy to stop. Jokic, this guy was the MVP, so he was the best player in the NBA last year. But it's not only that. Bryn Forbes was getting too many open looks, right? And let me tell you something, Shardall. We love Steph Curry, right? He's our GOAT. He's our favorite player. At least he's my favorite player. On that last game-winning shot by Monte Morris, that was Steph's man. Steph was supposed to guard Monte Morris, but he had to try to help out on Jokic because Jokic had been killing us. And that allowed Jokic, because Jokic has such great vision for this 7-footer. As soon as Steph tried to help out in defense on Jokic, Jokic kicked it to the open player, because that's just the guy's got 4 eyes all over his head. He sees the whole court, and that's where Monte Morris nailed the open 3. I think we got someone in the chat we got to say what's up to, Shardall. We got a special guest hopping in the chat.
Hey, we got Amin the Dream. Thanks for joining the stream, Amin the Dream. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, Amin? Yeah, but it was a tough loss, man. Oh,
so
Jokic
Amin has a question.
Embiid. Yeah. What do you think about that one, Shardall? Those are 2 great big men, 2 of the best big men in the NBA.
I gotta say Embiid. Like, I mean, I don't know nothing to Jokic that he's a great player, but I like Embiid. Embiid's strong too, and he's a pretty terrifying player when he's on the court.
You're 100% right. But you know where I'm going to go? I'm going to play the contrarian, and I'm going to take Jokic, because for a full season, year in and year out, Jokic's ability to stay healthy and stay on the court, I think, gives him the edge over Embiid. Where now, if it was like a 1-game scenario where it's like, hey, do you want Embiid for this game or Jokic for this game? Then maybe I go Embiid. But if you're talking about like build a team or for like a whole season, which guy? I'm going Jokic, because he's been relatively healthy throughout his career, where Embiid, he tends to miss some games for some stretches. But both phenomenal players.
I mean, I just want to say, appreciate the compliment. I really like a lot of compliments. Thanks to compliment about my jersey. I really appreciate it.
Whose jersey you got on, Shardall?
I got Steph Curry.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
So
let me check out my notes right here, Shardall, because I was taking some notes during this game. You know what I mean? Because I knew we were going live. And I wanted to say, we know it was a tough loss, but some good things that happened, right? Bielitsa, with 1 second left on the third quarter clock, launched a cross-court pass to Klay Thompson, who got fouled. I mean, that was phenomenal. It was a great pass by Nemanja Bielitsa. I've been kind of beating up Bielitsa because he's been getting worked on defense. He's been getting worked. The three-point shot's been but I was expecting Bielitsa to be a phenomenal knockdown three-point shooter, so I want him to take it to another level.
So we have another question from me in the dream. He's saying LeBron or Steph?
Steph.
And what have you seen from Steph Curry that really impresses you every time he steps on the court?
I mean, there's a lot. There's a long list for that, Shardall. I could, obviously the jumper, the guy's the greatest shooter who's ever lived, but it's also the gravity, Shardall. Whenever Steph Curry's in the game, the defense has to key in on his every movement, and that frees up other players. That's the thing, because other teams are so concerned with stopping Steph Curry or slowing him down. He draws so much attention. That's why Otto Porter gets these open looks. That's why Gary Payton's wide open in the corner for an open three-pointer. That's why Andrew Wiggins is shooting a career-high three-point field goal percentage. Wiggins wasn't this phenomenal shooter with the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was a decent shooter, but now the guy's shooting 40%, which is absolutely big time. And the reason why is he's worked on his game and he's gotten better. But Steph Curry's getting him more open looks than he ever had previously. So Steph's got that gravity that even if he is slumping a little bit and the percentages are lower than they have been in previous years, he's still drawing so much attention that your other players are getting open looks.
Cause to me, when Monte Morris made that game-winning jumper to give the Nuggets the win, I was really upset that wasn't Steph Curry who hit that game-winning three-point jumper to get the win.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, Steph, he actually, I thought he had hit the game winner, right? Because Steph made a shot to take the lead with 5 seconds left on the clock, and I was thinking, all right, Steph just hit the clutch shot, and we got to stop him for these last 5 seconds. But unfortunately, we couldn't get that stop because we were too focused on trying to stop Jokic and left Morris open.
So on the Nuggets, so one of a player that I really like is Aaron Gordon, who played Casper in the Uncle Drew movies.
Oh, for real? I haven't seen Uncle Drew's.
Aaron Gordon was in Uncle Drew. He was the other team, with Kyrie Irving and all the other players. He was playing the opposing team, Aaron Gordon.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was in Uncle Drew. I watched the movie. I got so excited that I saw Aaron Gordon playing today against the Warriors, and then he was in that film. I said, that is something incredible that Aaron Gordon was in that movie, and he was playing today against the Warriors.
And I got something else that's going to blow your mind, Shardall. Aaron Gordon is a Bay Area cat. This guy went to Archbishop Mitty, which is in San Ho, right? Somewhere in the South Bay, Archbishop Mitty is. And you know what else about Aaron Gordon? I used to watch Aaron Gordon's older brother, Drew Gordon. I used to watch Drew Gordon play because he went to Mitty as well. Both of them went to Archbishop Mitty. And Drew Gordon, who's Aaron's older brother, was also really good. I was watching Drew Gordon dunk on some of my classmates. I think we got you muted again, but no, I haven't seen Uncle Drew. I haven't seen it yet, Amin.
I mean, it's a great movie. It has Kyrie Irving. It has it's really great. You should, if you definitely haven't gotten a chance to watch it, you should.
I'll give it a shot. Hey, let me tell you, the Space Jam 2 with LeBron James, Shardall, I gotta confess, dude, it put me to sleep. I fell asleep during Space Jam, the new one. It didn't do it for me. What did you think about the new Space Jam?
Um, I liked it, but it was not. I mean, I thought that the first one with Michael Jordan was way better than the second one with LeBron.
Yeah, me too.
I just cause I don't know why the reason why I like the first Space Jam is because the R. Kelly song I Believe I Can Fly, when LeBron gets introduced, when he gets introduced in that movie, um that song I really like.
Is that
That's why I
MJ?
like
That's
yeah,
MJ, right?
yeah, when Michael Jordan gets introduced with Bugs Bunny, and then the Toon Squad gets introduced in the film in the first one.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So Amin the Dream's asking Baller, tell me if you understand the reference 73 in 1 or 3 in 1.
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, he's talking about that was 2016 when the Warriors had the best record in the NBA history, but the Warriors ended up losing to the Cavs after being up 3-1. It was a stinger. That one hurt. But hey, that allowed us to get Kevin Durant. All right, which only lasted a few years, but it was a lot of fun having Durant here for those 3 seasons.
When the Dallas Mavericks play the Warriors with Kristaps Porzingis out on getting he currently got traded to the Washington Wizards. Do you think that with Porzingis not on the Mavericks, do you think that's gonna hurt their squad, or do you think they'll be fine without Porzingis?
You know, we're gonna have to see because Porzingis, he's a good offensive threat, but defensively, he doesn't move that well. The guy's 7'3", so you could take advantage of that in certain situations by getting open looks. However, who they got? They got Spencer Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie's a solid pro. I do like Spencer Dinwiddie, and they got another player. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head who I like. Who was it? It's escaping me. But I got to see. It's kind of a wait and see. I need to see how that Mavericks roster plays on the court before I can make any judgments.
My other question is that what are your thoughts of Tim Hardaway Jr., son of Tim Hardaway, Warriors legend?
That guy's a great player. I mean, maybe not great, but he's a good NBA player. Great jump shot. Tim Hardaway, man. Tim Hardaway Jr., he can shoot the rock. That's his strength. You know, so absolutely, he's a good player. What do you want to know about him? Michigan.
So Ham says, do you think Jimmy G will get traded before or after March 16th?
You know, Ham, I've been saying, I've said it on my channel when I was talking to Grant Cohn, and I said I don't think Jimmy G has trade value, and it's an unpopular opinion. A lot of people think that the Niners can get a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick, some even say a 1st round pick for Jimmy G, but in my opinion, he's expensive. Jimmy's going to cost 27 mil, right? And if I'm a GM, I'm looking at it from a GM's perspective. Say I'm the GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Denver Broncos, right? I'm not betting my career on the back of Jimmy G saying, yeah, we need to go trade 2nd round pick, get Jimmy G. Jimmy G was just surrounded by weapons, right? Kittle, Debo, Ayuk. We had weapons for him. We had a good running game, a defense. We got Kyle Shanahan, this brilliant offensive mind. And yet we still couldn't win a Super Bowl. We squeezed the Jimmy G juice all out of it. Like, we got the most we could out of Jimmy G. So my answer, and I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm 100 going to be right, guaranteed, but I'm going to say no. We don't trade Jimmy G before March 16th.
So Ham has another question. He says, who do you think won the trade, Sixers or Nets?
This is tough. Ham's hitting us with some hard hitters. What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on that trade?
I think I think the Nets won this trade because the Nets didn't like Harden and they wanted James Harden out of Brooklyn because they just wasn't there was no sync between him and the team, so they just wanted him out. So I think that it was I think it was the Nets.
That's very possible. I think that's kind of been the consensus. I think this could be a trade that actually helps both teams, Shardall. It might be one of those rare trades where both teams get better from doing it. Because it's like the Nets, they didn't need all those ball handlers, right? Kyrie, Harden, they both really like the ball. It's a tough one. But I'm a big James Harden guy, and I like that fit with him and Joel Embiid. I mean, that pick and roll is going to be nasty. So I think it's even. I think it's even. And I liked, Ben Simmons is the key piece going to the Nets, but Andre Drummond's going to give them some size. And Seth Curry, Steph's brother, also was traded from Philly. Now he's in Brooklyn. So the Nets got a great shooter in Steph's brother, Seth Curry.
So Seth Curry plays for the Brooklyn Nets. So a really exciting matchup would be if the Nets play the Warriors probably next season, and number 30 on number 30, like the brothers facing against each other would be exciting. I mean, that would be something I would love to see. That like that would be absolutely incredible if that.
I mean, yeah, it's happened. I mean, no, we've seen it. It's happened, and they guard each other, right? We've seen it where they've clashed head to head on the court. And Seth, both of them play with a little bit of edge. You don't want to get punked by your brother out there. It gives a different vibe when you're playing out there with your brother on the court. Same thing with the Ball brothers. I saw Lonzo and Melo going at it earlier this year. So that sibling rivalry on the court, man, it's something strong.
And are you trying to say that you Seth Curry can get competitive? Like I've seen how competitive he can get. He can get really, if you like stir him up, he can have a performance and he can go absolute crazy on you if you give him a chance to do something like that. For Seth Curry.
Yeah. Seth's a phenomenal shooter just like his brother. So if he gets an open look, if you're not guarding him up close and getting in his face, Seth Curry's going to hit the three-pointer, and, that's going to help his team out big time.
The reason why Steph Curry is one of the greatest three-point shooters in the NBA right now is just because he can create open space for himself. He can create that extra space where nobody's there, and he'll drain the shot. Like he'll do that. So that's why he's fun to watch, because no players can create open space for themselves, and that's why he's just fun to watch every single day. He steps on the court. It's just like it's magical to see Steph Curry just have a 60-point performance or a 65-point performance or just whatever he does on the court is just it's exciting to see that he has that in him.
Yeah, no, I feel you 100% on that. And Shardall, coming up is the NBA All-Star Weekend, right, with the three-point contest, the dunk contest, which JTA will be participating in the dunk contest. And I kind of wish it was John Kuminga, because Kuminga's got so many electric dunks. But we'll see what JTA can do. I'm not so sure he's we'll see. I don't want to JTA's had some nice dunks, but I didn't know he was quite dunk contest worthy. So we'll see.
So when you see JTA in the dunk contest, what is one dunk that you really love JTA to put? Like what would you like to see him drop? Like which dunk is like, just a mesmerizing thing where everybody just when they see it, they just all tens up on the board for the judges.
Yeah. You know what? I like when they finish with like the behind the back dunk where they cock it, maybe like a windmill, flush it backwards, because then it's like a no look dunk. Those are some of my favorites.
To me, like if I was at the dunk contest, something really cool that I would get a chance to do is if JTA gave me the ball over my head, and then JTA came over and jumped over me and dunked it and took the ball and dunked it.
Yeah, that'd be tense up on the board.
If I stood on the court like in
Yeah,
Cleveland,
yeah, you
and
hold
then
the ball
JTA
like this.
came and the ball up on my head, JTA took the ball, jumped over me, dunked it.
He probably could. He probably could. We might have to set that up.
That would be pretty sick if that happened. If JTA did that in the dunk contest.
That would be. He might. We might have to, because sometimes they do that in the dunk contest. They'll bring like a fan on the court or multiple fans. I've seen it where they jump over like 2 or 3 kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but do you think JTA's Hall of Fame status? Do you think he's gonna make to the Hall of Fame one day, or do you think that JTA kind of has a little bit of ways to go to reach Hall of Fame status?
I'm gonna keep it 100. Chardall. He ain't making the Hall of Fame.
What about Steph Curry?
Hell yeah. First ballot instantly.
When you saw
Guy could retire yesterday and he'd be a Hall of Famer.
When Steph Curry made that game-winning three-pointer and broke Ray Allen's record, how excited were you when you saw that in MSG?
I mean, I was pretty excited. But I'm not a big individual accolade guy. Like, they're cool, don't get me wrong, but I'm more about the team. It's about the team.
Something that would make me really excited if Steph Curry broke Ray Allen's record, and then it will be really cool if Klay Thompson comes and beats Steph's record. Just Klay Thompson got a chance to get a 3-point record.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's catching Steph like this decade. I think Steph's going to have the edge on Klay. I don't anticipate Klay, as good as Klay is, and I wouldn't say it's impossible. Let's Timothy says we got saved. Grizzlies lost to the Blazers, and if the Grizzlies won, the Warriors would have lost the 2nd seed. So the Warriors go into the All-Star break holding on to the 2nd seed. Thank you for that info, Tim. That's good stuff.
So when you look at the schedule for the Warriors, which games are you really looking forward to watching when you analyze the remainder of the 2022 Warriors schedule?
I mean, I haven't looked into the future games, but you got to look at the premier teams, right? Anytime the Warriors are playing the other premier teams at the top of the league, like the Suns, the Grizzlies, if you're looking at the Eastern Conference, you're talking about like the Bucks or the Nets, Sixers. So, I mean, those are the teams when you're playing the cream of the crop. Those are the games you kind of get your popcorn ready. Yeah. Tim's saying we got lucky for holding on to that 2nd seed. Yeah.
In the next game against the Mavericks, which players would you really love to see step up for the team?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm thinking Klay. I mean, Klay's back. Klay's been looking really good. Let's see. Tonight, Klay was 5 of 15 from the field. Not ideal. So I want to see Klay pick it up a little bit. Wiggins finished with 9 points. I feel like, when has Wiggins ever finished with single-digit points like that? It seems pretty rare. Usually you can pencil him in for at least like between 15 to 22. But, 9 points tonight. You want to see Wiggins and Klay be a little more consistent.
So my question is what really impresses you about Andrew Wiggins, his overall performance?
And you know what? Congratulations to Andrew Wiggins making his first All-Star game. And Wiggins, it's just how he keeps getting better, Shardall. This guy keeps getting better and better. He was the number one pick. He was supposed to be the savior for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Didn't quite live up to the hype. Warriors trade for him, get rid of D'Angelo Russell, which that trade, oh my God, that was the best case scenario. They gave us Wiggins and a top 3 pick, which turned out to be James Wiseman for D'Angelo Russell, who like D'Lo, he can score the rock, but he doesn't play no D. You might as well D'Lo, just call him low because he don't play D. So Warriors absolutely won that trade.
So Ham says, are you guys eyeing any potential draft picks for the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, I've been digging into the prospects because, after the 49ers season ends is when I tend to dive into the upcoming NFL draft. Hey, Ham, make sure you subscribe to my channel because actually on Tuesday, I'm doing a NFL free agent preview where I'm going to be talking about some free agents that the 49ers should go out and sign to improve their roster. But as for the NFL draft prospects, I've watched a lot of the wide receivers. I've scouted 30 of the top wide receivers coming into the NFL draft. And let's see, some of the guys, I like the Nevada wide receiver. What's his name? Dobbs. I like this dude, 6'2", speedster. I mean, I got a list of receivers. Christian Watkins from North Dakota State, right? Everyone's been giving him some love because he played with Trey Lance at North Dakota State. 6'3", guy's got some speed. So right now, I've pretty much only scouted the wide receivers. So I'm still working on filling out the NFL draft prospects and evaluating them.
What are your thoughts on Stephon Gilmore?
Stephon Gilmore's a hell of a player. He's been bit by the injury bug the last couple of years. He's going to be a free agent, and the Niners, we could use another DB because it's like we got Emmanuel Mosley. But the other side, there's some question marks. Ambry Thomas was kind of up and down in his rookie year. There was some good. There was some bad. So if you can get a guy like Gilmore, you can't say no to that.
Because to me, when I look at Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, to me, I can think like Steph Curry's Batman, and then Klay Thompson's Robin, and then Nikola Jokic the Joker, and they're trying to stop the Joker. That's what Klay Thompson and Steph Curry remind me of. And then Draymond Green's Captain America.
Yeah, because he's got that shield. Draymond is like the shield of the defense, and Captain America's got the shield. I see where you're going.
So, what do you think? What's the projected record for the Warriors in the standings? Do you think that they're gonna get to first place? I think the Suns are currently in first right now, and the Warriors are in second. Do you think that the Warriors are gonna go up to first, and the Suns are gonna move down to second?
It's possible. I wouldn't rule it out, but Warriors need to add a big, Shardall. I'm telling you, we need another big man. I like Wiseman coming back, but we need someone with experience. I want Robin Lopez. If we get Robin Lopez, we'll end up as the number 1 seed.
So we have a question from Ham. He said, "Is Klay really back? He did well against the Lakers, but he struggled tonight."
He did struggle, but yeah, I think he's back. I think he's looking good. Obviously we saw what he did. Drop 33 on the Lakers. Klay's back. Sometimes you have an off night, and I think he's going to keep getting better. But Klay's back, and he's looking better than I think any of us could expected. Like he's
Yeah,
moving
because
well. That was my main concern. Sorry, Shardall. Coming off the Achilles, is how is Klay Thompson moving? Does he still have some bounce? Not that he was some athletic freak who was dunking on a ton of guys before, but he had some juice, right? He could get to the rim and sky when he needed to. And I've seen it. His first game back, he had a vicious dunk on someone's neck. So Clay's back.
so what are your thoughts of Chris Chiozza?
Yeah, he could go. He could go, to be honest. He's on a two-way deal, so he's not even really taking up a roster spot. But Chiozza, shout out to my boy J Mac. J Mac's been telling me to dump Chiozza for months now.
I mean, what? I mean, why do you have such a intense dislike for Chris Chiozza?
I don't intensely dislike him. I just don't think he's that good. The guy, he's short. He's got to be like 5'10". I mean, he's got a pretty good jump shot. But Chiozza, he's a lower tier NBA point guard. Like he's a decent like third string point guard.
So you're saying he lacks certain qualities. He's not such a great basketball player. I mean, he's average,
Yeah.
but he's not. You wouldn't give him such a great. You wouldn't rate him so on a high scale.
Yeah, that's accurate. And I hope he
But
proves me wrong. I hope he proves me wrong. I'm not saying he's bad. I know he has a good jump shot, but he's just small. You can take advantage of him on defense. And yeah, I don't think he's this great playmaker either.
do you think Steph Curry's a way better playmaker than Chiozza?
Yes, I do.
Um, before we end the stream, do you have any final thoughts to say to the Warrior to Dub Nation out there?
Yo, Dub Nation, thanks for checking out me and Shardall. Make sure you subscribe to Shardall's channel. We're trying to get him to like 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So we got some work to do. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. You can check me out, Bay Area Baller 18. You see it right there on the screen. I got my own YouTube channel. I've been talking 49ers, some Warriors, putting out some Trey Lance film if you're into something like that. So check out my channel, Dub Nation. I think we got a legit chance at a trophy. But man, I think we got to add another big. I've said it many times. I don't know. I might have to tweet at Bob Myers or try to get a hold of someone in the front office. If you're watching this now, trade for a big and also trade for Vasilija Micic, who's playing in the Euro League. He's on the OKC's roster somewhere buried deep on there. So go get Vasilija Micic and trade for a big.
Eric, it was really great having you on the show. You and I can think about collaborating if we want to do another post game show in the future. Just hook me up. Just let me know, and we'll make it happen.
Hey, no doubt, Shardall. Thanks for inviting me on. I love to talk ball with you.
I was like talking Warriors basketball with you too. Hope you have a great rest of your night.
Same to you.
Have a good one, and go Dub Nation.